Hey guys, so today I wanted to share some of my current favorites with you. I have been doing my favorites videos seasonally this year, so this is my fall favorites. These are just some products I've been loving, mostly makeup, a few skincare things. I did also just post my top eyeshadow palettes for fall, so I'll link that below. I'm not going to go over those again. Let's start with a foundation favorite that I have been using a lot more recently. This is the Uoma Beauty Say What foundation. I've had this for a few months now, but during the summer I just wasn't reaching for this as much because I was just reaching more for like tinted moisturizers. I was really into like the Urban Decay Hydromaniac, the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk, but whenever the fall and winter rolls around, I do kind of get more into fuller coverage based products. So I've been using this more recently and it is beautiful. I'm wearing this today. This whole look actually is from my most recent Shop My Stash video, which I'll link for you below if you want to see how this all came together. But this is a foundation I used and it has really great coverage. I would say solid medium but buildable to full coverage. But for a high coverage foundation, it's very skin-like and lightweight, and it's also very long wearing. The only thing I'll say is whenever my skin is very dry, this doesn't work well for me, but I've been having fewer and fewer dry skin days as my skin has gotten used to using tretinoin, so this has been so beautiful. But I would highly recommend it to anyone unless you have super dry and or flaky skin. I'm curious to try the drugstore version of this from the Uoma by Sharon C brand. If any of you have tried both, I'd love to hear if they're, how similar they are, what you think of them, but this is so nice. Also, a lipstick I cannot put down is the E.L.F. Seriously Satin Lipstick in Nectar. I have also had this for a few months, but I only recently started using it a lot just because it's a very kind of fall nude color for me. Although the more I've worn it, the more I can see this becoming a year-round staple for me. I cannot stop using this. It seems to go so well with so many of the looks I've been doing lately. I would describe this color as like a warm pumpkin spice nude that's not too brown. I sound like a broken record because I say that like every time I talk about a nude that I like, but what I've come to realize is that I just can't do nude shades that are too brown, and this does not pull brown on my lips. The texture is creamy. It's actually more of a matte than a satin finish, as you can see, but it doesn't feel drying at all. I also like the shade Persimmon, which I think I mentioned in my summer favorites video, and then Cream I've had for a while, and that's a great one for like the center of the lip. So I've become a huge fan of these Seriously Satin lipsticks. Great way to test out colors that you're not sure about or colors that you've never worn before. So good. This is probably going to be my most worn fall lipstick. Now, a sort of similar color, because I'm really just into this type of color lately that I've been loving. It's actually more of a lip combo, but it's these two products together. The Mented Peach Lip Pencil, which I've mentioned this a lot. It's probably been in a past favorites video. I can't remember. But then this is newer to me. This is the Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Liar. And this is a similar color to Nectar from E.L.F., but it is a little bit lighter, a little bit pinker. And this is one of the cream finish ones, so it's just kind of your traditional bullet lipstick. Feels very creamy. It has a little bit of shine to it. It's not a full-on matte lipstick. Very comfortable to wear, very long wearing. And I like wearing this on its own, but I found I really like it even more with the Mented Peach Lip Pencil. This is another perfect peachy nude that's not too brown. It's just perfect and it looks beautiful with the Urban Decay lipstick. So those are my fall go-to lip shades. I just think they're perfect. Another product from E.L.F. I've really been loving. I don't think this has been included in a favorites video yet, so I wanted to go ahead and give it a spot in today's video, but this is the E.L.F. Shape and Stay Brow Wax. It's literally just a clear wax retractable crayon. I didn't know I would ever even find something like this useful. It's something I picked up on a whim, and at first I almost regretted buying it because I was like, I don't even need this. How am I going to use this? I didn't even know why I bought it other than just pure curiosity. But I have found it so useful. So I will just apply this to my brows, just all through them before I fill them in. And it just kind of pushes them down. I do feel like I have somewhat, I won't say bushy brows because it's not like they're that thick or dark or anything, but the hairs are not, they don't lay flat against my skin normally. So this really helps me because it just pushes them into place, gets them into the shape I want, and then my brow pomade, which I use the ABH Dip Brow Pomade, I happen to have it right here, it just goes in so smoothly. I feel like the placement is just so much better, and this also basically takes the place of a brow gel that you would comb through afterwards because it also gives my brows a little bit of hold, so I don't find that I need that extra brow gel step. So this has been my brow routine lately. I'm also trying to work through my last like brow gel, but I feel like I might not even need brow gel anymore after that because these two together are just just so nice. And the nice thing about this is it just gives you enough of a thin layer of wax to hold your brows in place, but it's not thick or gloopy or sticky or anything. And it doesn't make your brows feel crunchy either, which I know some brow gels can do. So what a gem, what a hidden gem. I feel like no one talks about this. So there you go. Something I picked up in the 21 Days of Beauty sale. I think this is the only thing I will be picking up in the sale. I'm not even paying attention to the rest of the sale, honestly, because I don't want to be tempted. This is the one thing I picked up during the sale, and it's the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlighter. So I was influenced by Emily's makeup bag here on YouTube. She also has an Instagram account. She fully influenced me to get this. And I know I'd heard so many other people talking about these, and I ended up getting the shade Privilege, which at first I was a little nervous that it was going to be too dark, but it was really the shade I wanted because it looked a little bit different from everything else I had. But I'm very glad I picked this shade because it does work for me. I think if you are any fairer than I am, this might be too dark for you, but on me, I just do a light dusting of it and I don't end up with that weird, like, shadowy look that too dark highlighters give. So I love it. It's this kind of duochrome peach gold shade. Just stunning. I love the packaging of this. I love when products have clear packaging that you can kind of just fully see through when it doesn't look cheap. Like, I feel like the E.L.F. lipstick totally looks cheap. This looks expensive. This is the first product I've ever tried from Nabla, and I love it. Like, this is the only highlighter I've wanted to use recently. It looks so smooth. You know how sometimes highlighters just look bumpy, textured, they don't blend in a smooth way? This is not that at all. This is effortless, it's beautiful. It's up there with like the Becca highlighters. I think I like this even better. The BH Cosmetics Belgian Waffle highlighters, same glass skin smoothness, and yeah, I'm in love. I'm sold. I love it. Did anyone else pick this up in the sale? And if so, are you loving it? This is not what I'm wearing today, by the way. Today I am wearing Becca Champagne Pop, but I will insert a demo of me applying this so you can see how it looks. It's so pretty. So sort of more of a technique favorite that I've really been into lately is brown pencil liner. The one I'm currently using is the CoverGirl Kohl Eyeliner Pencil in Rich Brown, although I don't recommend this one because it is impossible to sharpen unless you put it in the freezer for like an hour, because that gets it firm enough to where it'll actually sharpen and not break off into your sharpener. The CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus liners are much better. I've also been raving about those nonstop recently, but I'm talking more, I'm not talking so much about the product right now as I am about the technique. I have been wearing brown pencil liner on my top lash line almost every day recently. I used to never wear pencil liner. I thought it was a pointless thing to even own, but now it's my favorite thing. I love how soft it looks. Today I have just a thin line of it on my upper lash line. I didn't even wing it out, which I normally do, but I just smudged this across the lower lash line and then I smoothed it out with the BK Beauty 208 brush, which is the most perfect, precise, angled liner brush I've ever used. And we will be coming back to these BK Beauty brushes in a moment because these are another favorite, by the way. But this particular brush, amazing for eyeliner. So when I do want to wing it out and I just want to get like a soft wing, I'll smudge it across the lash line and then I'll just go over that with this brush, or any similar brush will work, and create like a soft little baby wing. Sometimes I do pick up some from the pencil itself to apply a little bit more to get the wing, but I love that look. I've been wearing that more than I wear liquid liner lately. More often than not, that is what I'm wearing for liner. So do not underestimate brown eyeliner. And I also am now tempted to get a brown mascara because I know a lot of people swear by brown mascara because it just looks a little bit softer. And with some looks, I feel like that would look really, really pretty. So let me know, are you a brown mascara user? And if so, do you have any good recommendations for ones that are like actually brown that also look good in your lashes, that don't smudge? I'm so done with mascaras that smudge. I'm sick of them. So let's go ahead and talk about these BK Beauty brushes, because we need to talk about these. So BK Beauty brushes, I have been loving these for the last few months. They were so kind to send me their entire brush collection, which I was so appreciative. I want to go ahead and talk about my top favorites because, first of all, the quality of these, you can't go wrong. If you see a shape on their website that you like, that you think would be useful for you, I don't think you can go wrong because they're all super soft, very sturdy and high quality. Like I said, I've only had them for, I guess, since July now, so a little over 2 months, I think. So I can't speak to how well they're going to hold up 5-10 years down the road. I'll definitely keep you guys updated the longer I have them, but They do not feel like the kind of brushes that are going to break. I haven't had any shedding with them. I'm very impressed. So some eye brushes, two that have totally changed the game for me. One, I already mentioned the 208. This is that angled liner brush. It is so thin, so precise. I didn't even know such a precise brush existed. I've been wanting something this precise for so long. Didn't know it existed. I use it for liner, but you could also use this for your brows. Just so good. The other eye brush that has really, like, I don't want to say it changed my life because that's a little bit dramatic, but it has been so incredibly useful. The 207. It's not that unusual of a shape or anything. I mean, I think there's a lot of brands that make a brush like this. It's just this small domed detail brush that I like to use to carve out my outer corner of my eye. I love this because I can really pack the shadow on and get the dimension that I want. And I get so much control with this brush. It's not getting all outside the lines. It's not like getting onto my temples or my lower lash line. I can just really focus it exactly where it needs to go. And then I can bring it up into the crease. And then I can go in with a blending brush to blend it out. But this has been so useful. I have not been able to stop using it. Then the face brushes. I'm loving this giant powder brush. This is the 105. Look how chubby this is. It's actually pretty dense, but it's so nice for setting all over the face, especially in the summer because it's so dense. It gives you like a good, even, substantial application of powder. Sometimes I find like powder brushes that are too fluffy just don't adequately set my makeup, so I've been loving that for just all over the face setting. This brush is the 106. This would be great for foundation. I don't really use brushes for foundation. I use a sponge more often, but love this for cream cheek products. So anyway, those are some of the standout brushes for me if you were thinking of picking some up. Those are my personal top favorites. These are definitely a little bit more expensive, like they're more along the lines of like Sigma prices, but I think sometimes really high quality brushes are worth it because you really do notice the difference in quality with these compared to $3 brushes from E.L.F, even though I do love some E.L.F brushes. Another thing I've been using nonstop, this has been my go-to fragrance lately. Whenever I'm looking at my different perfumes and fragrance options, this is the one I want to use every day. It's the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush hair and body fragrance mist. So it's basically a body spray, but it's the Boom Boom Cream scent. I haven't tried the perfume version of this, so I'm not sure how they compare, but I do feel like for a body spray, this does have really good lasting power. In fact, I'm going to spray some on right now because I didn't have any on before, but such a great scent. What are the notes? The top notes are pistachio and almond, mid notes heliotrope and jasmine petals, and dry is vanilla, salted caramel, and sandalwood. It's just so good. It doesn't smell like food per se, but it does have that kind of vanilla-y, caramely undertone to it. I love it. I know not everybody loves this scent. Maybe go, make sure you smell it for yourself before you blindly buy this, but I love it. I've already used quite a bit of it. I bought this in the spring Sephora sale. I've been using it constantly. It's so nice. I think I might eventually get the perfume version of this because I just like it so much. And then a few skincare products to end off this favorites video. So this has been a favorite for a while, but recently I've gotten back into using it, and it's the Acure Resurfacing Overnight Glycolic Treatment. So I took a long break from using any kind of exfoliants, chemical exfoliants on my face, and this is a chemical exfoliant, but it is, from what I found, very gentle. It has both glycolic and lactic acid in it, and it's basically a moisturizer. I usually top it off with a regular moisturizer, which I do have a favorite moisturizer I'll talk about right after this, but it's a very nourishing cream. I really like to use this on nights when I'm taking a break from tretinoin and I feel like my skin just has some kind of like peeling, flaky areas that just need some help getting smoothed out. This helps with that so much without irritating my skin at all. Now I make sure not to use this if I ever feel like my skin is extra sensitized. Sometimes you can just tell that your moisture barrier is not in the best shape. I don't use this anytime I feel that way, but whenever my skin feels like it's not irritated but it just needs a little bit of help turning over, amazing. And I always feel like I wake up the next morning with just the most glowing, smooth skin. My skin just looks so healthy after using this, so I love this. I'm almost done with it. You can see, really great product to check out if you're wanting to get into an AHA exfoliant that, in my opinion, is very gentle. But I would say currently I'm only using this like maybe once a week. And I don't push it at all. I only use it when I feel like my skin is kind of craving something like this. Now, a moisturizer that I've fallen in love with, I'm actually already almost done with this. This is the Versed Skin Soak Rich Moisture Cream. It's got squalane and red algae extract. So this is fragrance free, and I think this is finally the moisturizer I have found for me to replace the E.L.F. Holy Hydration. I am a little bit particular about the texture of my moisturizers. I need them to be rich and somewhat thick, but also kind of have that wet feeling to them. You know how some more like whipped, almost buttery face creams almost feel a little bit dry? Like they moisturize your skin, but they don't have that wet, like skin quenching feeling to them. This is exactly what I want in the texture of a face cream. It's rich enough for when my skin is very dry, but I don't find that it causes me to break out. So I'm a huge fan. I would say, you know, it says it's made for dryness and aging skin, and it's a moisturizer for serious hydration. So it's probably best for people with like combo or dry skin. Maybe wouldn't recommend it if you have super oily skin unless you just like a rich moisturizer, but it's great. It's fantastic. And the packaging is recyclable. It is number 5 plastic. It's got the little symbol on the bottom there. And that's the main reason I was trying to find a replacement for the E.L.F. one. So I love that. And Versed is also great on their website. They explain to you how to properly dispose of all of their packaging. And they also have a empties like send back program for the ones that aren't recyclable in your local area. So love to see that. I do have a Versed affiliate code if you're interested, but very happy I found this. And finally, a serum that is newer to me that I've really been loving as well. This is the cocokind ceramide barrier serum. This has this kind of milky gel serum-y texture. I really like the feel of this on my skin. This is fragrance free as far as I know, as well as the Versed cream and the Acure thing. So win-win there. But this does exactly what it says. It is a nourishing daily serum for skin barrier support. And I definitely need skin barrier support because occasionally I do have days where my skin is like extra sensitive. So I just use this every night before moisturizer and tretinoin, and I feel like it just kind of helps strengthen my skin barrier. It keeps it from getting super irritated or sensitized. It's kind of similar in what it does to the Crave Beauty Great Barrier Relief Serum, but this is more of a true serum texture, whereas the Crave one was more of like a almost lotiony kind of texture. And this brand, as well as Versed and Acure, you can find at Target, so it's a little bit easier to find than Crave. So I think those are all of my favorites for the season. I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, sometimes I like to include fails in these, but I've had some fails recently. I just feel like I've talked about them in other videos, so I don't feel the need to rehash them here. Felt like I'd just stick to the ones I'm loving. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a whole playlist of favorites videos that you can check out if you're interested. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not already. If you want even more of me, I do have a Patreon now. I'd love to hang out with you over there. We've got lots of cool perks and bonus content going on over there. And otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.